Hi folks, welcome to Sweet Baby James. What I'll do here is I'll show you a very simple pick and strum pattern that you can use throughout the whole song if you want a nice simple version of Sweet Baby James. And then we'll get into some of the licks that he's actually putting in, and you can use those if you want to add those in to the simple version. Now, James Taylor of course is a finger-picking guy, but on Sweet Baby James he uses a combination of thumb strokes and strums, little brushy strums, very gentle little strums with the index finger or index and middle finger of your right hand. And then around that he will put in at the end of certain lines some little licks. The basic strum pattern that you can use throughout the whole song, if you want to, is to pick the bass note of the chord. Let's grab a D chord and make it the fourth string would be the root note. And then it's 3 beats to the bar, so 2 down strums on 2, 3, and an up strum on the and of 3 for 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and. So if you learn the chord shapes as we go through this video, you can then apply that strum pattern to every one of them, and you'll be able to play a perfectly acceptable version of Sweet Baby James. What James Taylor does is he uses a combination at various times of the pattern we just looked at. Sometimes he will just go bass note, strum, strum, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Most often when he's singing, whilst he's singing a line, he tends to keep the pattern simple. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Other times he'll get busier. He might go 1, 2, and 3. That's bass, down, up, down, bass, down, up, down. At other times, particularly at the end of lines, he will even add more up strums, like bass, down, up, bass, down, up, down, up. It's another thing that he does particularly at the end of lines. So you've got various options there. James Taylor will combine them in without following a particular pattern of when he does any one, just as he feels like it. You can do the same thing, mixing those patterns up. The rule with James Taylor, you will have heard me say many times on these videos, is to keep it simple while you're singing and put the embellishments in between the sung lines. Alright, with that out of the way, let's jump into the intro. Here is the intro. There is a young cowboy. Alright, now we're going to start off with a G chord. I call it the reinforced G chord. Normally we play G like this. If you're a follower of my lessons, you've seen me that I play G like this all the time. However, very occasionally a song requires us to play G like this. Some of you will already know this. 5th and 6th strings at the 2nd and 3rd frets with these 2 fingers, and then the top 2 strings at the 3rd fret with the ring finger and little finger. It's more like a power chord type of sound. And what James Taylor does here is he starts off by picking 6 and 2 and 3, then he goes down up, index finger brush strum. Then, it's not written on your song sheet, but G over F sharp is the 6th string 5th fret whilst the other 2 fingers remain in place. Play that note and play an up strum. So that's our first bar. 1, 2, and 3, and. Now we want E minor 7. Keep the top 2 fingers where they are, but add the E minor shape here. And play 6, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, and 3, and. And then A7 sus4, a chord that James Taylor likes a lot. Again, keep the 2 fingers, top 2 fingers where they are. You can either simply remove the index finger, or, as I tend to do, replace the index finger put it on the 4th string, 2nd fret, so that you've got 5th string open now. That's your bass note, and you'll go down, up, and do it again. With the count. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3. There. Okay, and we're into the song. Now I'm going to start to simplify the strum pattern when I do it. The D chord is going to go 4, strum, strum. There is a young cow. On the word boy, change to a normal A chord, 5, strum, strum. Cowboy, he. Now at this point, James Taylor goes back to his reinforced G chord. At various times in this song, he sometimes uses the reinforced G chord, sometimes the normal G chord. As far as I can see, it only depends on how easy it is for him to get from the previous chord to the G. If you choose whatever G you like to play and go with it for the whole song, and the difference won't be noticeable. But I will show you which version of G he's using at each point, so you have that option if you want it. Here he's using the reinforced G chord, bass, strum, strum, where bass is the 6th string, lives on the... And now F sharp minor, which is a bar at the 2nd fret, and the E minor shape in front of the bar. This finger's doing nothing. James plays a bar here, and it's very difficult to see how you could get this sound without playing a bar. He's going 6, and then an embellished strum, because he's finished his singing. He's not going to start singing again until his horse and his cattle, so he'll tend to do here bass, down, up, and it's 2 bars of F sharp minor. The first time I went bass, down, up. The second time I went bass, up, down, up. More slowly, bass, up, down, up. 1 and 2, 3 and. Here's that whole line. There is a young cowboy, he lives on the range. And you can hear there that I'm getting busier when I stop singing. Now we're singing again, we'll simplify. B minor, of course, is a bar at the 2nd fret and the A minor shape in front of the bar. 5th string, bass note, horse and his. JT here plays a backwards G chord. I'm going to do the same thing. Cattle. Now, here's something different. He goes 6th string, strum, and then on the 3rd beat of the bar he plays the 5th string fretted at the 2nd fret. 1, 2, 3. He does that a lot in this song at places where he's linking G to D, where D is going to be the next chord. He doesn't always do it where G links to D, and it doesn't really matter. You know, if you see him play it live, he could do it in different places, so it doesn't matter. You could do it every time that G links to D if you like. But here he's going bass, strum, and then 5th string bass. Then D, bass, strum, strum, and F sharp minor embellished as before. Here's that line. Horse and his cattle are his only companions. Now we get an exact repeat of the line we've just played. He works in the saddle and he sleeps in the canyons. Now G to D, it's a backwards G to a normal D, and he doesn't put in the 5th string note, but of course you could if you want to. I'm going to go bass, strum, strum, and then on D, bass, strum, strum. Waiting for summer is... Now he goes to an A chord, and even though he's singing, he puts an embellishment in on the A chord. He picks 5 and 2 together, and he hammers 2 from the open string to the 2nd fret. It's pastures. The rest of your fingers are holding a normal A chord, and after that we'll go down, down. Pastures 2. 1 and 2, 3. E minor 7 is an E minor chord, plus the 2nd string 3rd fret. Just go bass, which is the 6th string, down, down. To change. Now actually he does 2 bars of E minor 7 here, so you could, if you like, embellish the 2nd bar. Change. Bass, down, down, bass up, down, down, up. Was what I just played. Any embellishment will be fine. And then we get a typical James Taylor lick on an A chord. That one. So on your tab, this is bars 24 and 25. And we start off with, as we said, the pinch of the 2nd string open to hammer onto 2nd fret. Then a down strum. Then lift the finger off the 2nd string and have an up strum. So you're going up, down, up with the finger off. Now you're at bar 25, hammering the 2nd string open to 2nd fret. If you prefer to strum that, that's fine, that's what he's doing on the studio version. And then we're going to go down, up with the finger down on the 2nd string. Actually, for the rest of the bar, down, up, down, up. That's what's written on the tab. Here it is. Now that is tabbed exactly as James Taylor's playing it on the studio version. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. I will tend to play, as he does if you watch him play it live today, a little bit more fingerpicky than strummy. There I'm doing the hammer on, then 4th string, 3rd string. No, 4th string, 2nd string open again. Then 3rd string, then the hammer of the 2nd string again pinched with the 5th string, and finish down, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Or I might go 1 and 2, 3 and. Okay, let's go back to something a little simpler. We've got a G, it's a reinforced G as he plays it here. And he plays it for 2 bars. I'm just going to go bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum. Sometimes I'll put an up strum in somewhere in there, it's all good. As the moon rises, he. 1 bar of the A7 sus where the 2 fingers remain. 5th string, strum, strum, sits by it. And D is just 1 bar of the normal D. 5. I'll put at least 1 up strum in there because it's the end of a line. Other times if you watch him play this live, he'll put the hammer on of D at that point. He'll hammer, opens 1st string to 2nd fret. You can do that if you want to. That would go like this. As the moon rises, he sits by his fire. There it was with the hammer. Not on the studio version, but sometimes he does that. Now we've got a B minor, which we played the way we did before. Thinking about a G, which is a backwards G, women and then a D, glasses of, and an A that begins with a hammer on. Beer. I'm hammering and down, down, up. Your tab on that embellishment says down, up, down, up. Play whichever feels better to you. Now, G5 again for 2 bars. This is the same as the As the Moon Rises line, exactly the same. Closing his eyes as the doggies retire. Now we get B minor for a bar, sings out a backwards G, and it's going to include the 5th string B note as we transition to D. Sings out a song which is soft but it's clear. So I'm going 6th string, strum, 5th string, change to D, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, down, up. B minor 11 is this chord shape, 5th string, 2nd fret, 3rd string, 2nd fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret. We're going to go 5 strum, strum, then we're going to change to E7, where the middle finger stays where it is on the 5th string, 2nd fret, other 2 come away, index finger to 3rd string, 1st fret, yes. And that'll go bass, strum, strum, and then A7 sus, this is a slightly different A7 sus, 4th string, 2nd fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret, play that for 2 bars. Include a few extra upstrokes in there, and then go to a normal A7 chord and do the same thing for 2 bars. So, that's going like this. Let's come from soft but it's clear, as if maybe someone could hear. And it's going to go into the chorus. Good night, you moonlight ladies. That's the studio version. Again, when JT plays it live on that A7 sus going to A7, he will often put the hammer of the 2nd fret, 2nd string, as if maybe someone could hear. Just like you did at bars 24 and 25, except now with an A7 chord instead of an A chord. You know, he'll do that live. Alright, the chorus starts off very easy. 1 bar of D, 1 bar of G, which in this case is a reinforced G, 1 bar A, 1 bar D. Good night, you moonlight ladies. Keeping it very simple in the right hand. Now we get B minor to G, including the 5th string pick, and then to D. I'll show you D, it's an embellishment. Rockabye, sweet baby. Now James, we do this. James. The lick as played on the studio version is shown on the 3rd page of your tab at bars 54 and 55. Bass, down, bass, down, up. Then we're going to break into finger picking, lift off the 1st string, play 4 and 1 now open, then the 2nd string. That's the 1st bar. Now actually, on its own it doesn't make any sense. It needs the following bar, bar 55, to make sense. So we'll look at that one straight away. Pinch 4 and 1 open again, but hammer 1 to the 2nd fret. And now the hard work's done. We're going to go down strum and then down up. Still doesn't make much sense without the rhythm. Here it is very slowly with the count. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, 3, and. Yeah? So that's on the line, Sweet Baby James. Rockabye, sweet baby James. It's a typical James Taylor lick. If this is the first song you've looked at, you'll see that lick many times more. Alright, B minor to G to D, and then a hammered D. Not a tricky little lick, just a hammered D. Deep greens and blues are the colors I choose. Won't you? You get that hammer, hammer, down, down. Now we get our B minor 11 to E7 phrase again, as before. Let me go down in my... Followed by the same A7 sus phrase. Dreams. And the only difference is it's just 1 bar of each this time. Dreams. And I'm going bass, down, down, up on each of those two. Reinforced G chord to an A chord. Rockabye, sweet baby. To a D lick, which really, for all intents and purposes, is you can consider exactly the same. It is really exactly the same as the one in bars 54 and 55 that you already learned. James, and so that whole final line, rockabye, sweet baby James. Okay, just quickly in passing on that lick, this is almost impossible because James Taylor will do these licks in so many tiny, subtly different ways. What I did there actually was 4th string, 3, and I played that open 1st string on the and of 2. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, 3, and. You know, you can do it that way as well. There's so many ways you can embellish this, and he does it in different ways all the time. So we've covered verse 1 and the 1st chorus in a lot of detail, as we really have to if we want to get these licks authentic. Verse 2 we can cover much more quickly. You can consider it to be exactly the same as verse 1. Always it's the case with JT that you can embellish the little licks slightly differently each time, but it won't do any harm if you play it exactly the same way. And similarly, the 2nd chorus. The only thing we really need to look at that's different, well, let me talk about one thing about the 2nd chorus, something that he now tends to do when he plays this song live. On the line, won't you let me go down in my dreams, on the 2nd time, he extends the A7 sus to A7. Won't you let me go down in my dreams? Oh, rockabye, sweet baby James. Yeah, all he's doing is stretching the A7 sus out to 4 bars. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. No, to 2 bars, I'm sorry. Normally, the first time around the chorus, you do it for 1 bar. Here he stretches it to 2 bars. In my dreams. And then you could certainly embellish the A7. Yes, in the same way that you embellished the A chord earlier on in the song, but now with an A7 chord instead. He doesn't do that on the original studio version, he does do it now when he plays it live. And we finish the song, and rockabye, sweet baby James. That ending is 4th string, 3rd string, open 1st string, 2nd string, and then hammer 4 and 1. You're hammering from open to 2nd fret of the 1st string. 1, 2, and 3, and 1. I think I had an extra 4th string note in there. 4, 3, 1, 4, 2, hammer. Rockabye, sweet baby James. That is your ending, and that, in a lot of detail, but hopefully it's working for you, is Sweet Baby James.